We are the Little Nerds on the Prairie. We were previously known as the Game Jockies. We're finally back from our hiatus, and the first thing we're going to be talking about today is Fallout 4! 4. Nice touch, Kelly.
Yeah, no explosion.
So Fallout 4 was one of the most anticipated games of the year.
Yes.
I played it, and it's pretty much everything I was hoping for and more in a lot of the aspects. Graphically, the game has improved quite a bit.
Well, let's before we start, what are you playing it on?
I'm playing it on PC.
PC,
PS4.
Idiot.
Yeah. So, how does it look on console?
Some of the graphically speaking, some of the up close textures of buildings and stuff look a little meh.
Yeah.
But the skyboxes, the weather effects, fucking amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it's really funny because we're only into the second or third years of these consoles, and they're already making games that trump what the console can do. Like, you have Fallout 4 and Star Wars Battlefront, which are both monsters for what you need to run them on.
They're
Metal
definitely
Gear Solid 5.
put it to the test. Yeah,
that pushes the boundaries of the graphics on the machine. It looks fantastic.
And Fallout's the same way.
Yeah, and even though Fallout carries that same kind of bland, brown post-apocalyptic world, at the same time it's really beautiful. There's really cool areas in the game, like the Glowing Sea. The Glowing Sea is probably my favorite place to have explored because that's where the nuke actually hit. Yeah. And it's a wasteland, but something about it adds to an odd beauty to it.
And it catches your attention right from the get-go.
Yeah.
Which is, I find, very, very game-changing in the industry right now, because there's so many games, such as the Syndicate, the stuff where you do start off and it's like, okay, yeah, it's cool, but there's nothing that's like, oh my god, I need to actually sit down, cancel what I was doing, and focus inward. Which Fallout, I mean, the first hour, you're like, oh my god.
Oh, I spent I spent hours upon hours just exploring before I started actually doing quests. And I think I've got 66 hours into the game right now, and I still have lots I want to do. I finished the main story. Yeah. Don't worry, I'm not going to spoil any of the story for the people who haven't finished the story, because I know a lot of people who haven't. They're still doing the exploring.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing the game does fantastic, is the exploration.
Absolutely.
There's so much to see, and like you said, the Glowing Sea, where you can go visit where the nuke landed for once, because that's not something you've ever really been able to do. You're just in the wasteland after the effect, right?
Yeah, and there's stuff down there. If you look at your map, generally where the square is, that's your borders.
Yeah.
But when you go into the Glowing Sea, you have to go past that to do exploring. And there's things like you find there's a down plane there that has a little bit of information there that you can find. There's little nuggets of story hidden in the world, especially if you do a lot of the terminal stuff and
there's
kind of going
so many Easter eggs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the quarry.
Yeah.
Sure, you can wander around the wasteland for hours and find little buildings you can go in, little buildings you can loot, but you come across a quarry, and you're like, hey, this is something. This is something with character.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to talk character. Have you been to the University of Witchcraft?
Yes.
Okay, so the University of Witchcraft was probably one of the most terrifying places I've been to yet. You walk in there, the walls are painted red, there's candles, there's dead bodies, you're walking through, pieces of people are falling from the floor above you, and you can hear something moving up there.
There's something.
You go upstairs, and dead bodies everywhere. No idea what the hell's going on here. And it's got that whole supernatural feel.
Yeah.
And then the biggest fucking Deathclaw walks out of the damn bathroom and stares you in the face, and there's no room to really get away, so it's...
At least it's house trained.
Oh, yeah. And that fight was crazy. The first real... Other than your first run-in with the Deathclaw in the beginning of the game, that was my first real run-in with one. And I didn't realize they actually can grab you and throw you.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm just thinking, Deathclaw just walks out after he flushes the toilet. under his hands.
You're polite enough to do that. That's hygienic.
Bodies everywhere. Bathroom's clean. We're good to go.
Well, and the death clause is one thing that I'm really impressed with, because in prior games, the death clause...
Like derpy?
Yeah, exactly.
We were
Tyler
looking at
talks
the-
about this.
Yeah, we're looking at the Fallout 3 death clause and stuff. Like, they don't look very intimidating. Like,
Yeah, they're like bigger dogs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these ones
Are
look
huge.
intelligent,
Yeah.
and they look terrifying.
I found an alpha. It was scary.
I've came across a few.
And that's
Yeah.
part of like the exploration that ties into like combat, where like you find legendary monsters all over the place, which
Yeah.
are super just cool random encounters.
Oh.
That's a phone on. Yeah, but like and like the random encounters with that, like you don't expect to run into like a legendary Deathclaw roaming through the field, but that's something that could potentially happen. Yeah.
And not only that, but giant monsters, behemoth
Yeah.
monsters that you don't generally see, like in Fallout 3. How many, like, of the behemoth super mutants did you run into?
In 3, I think there was one.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And that was outside
two or
Two
three.
Dogs.
And
Where-
4 is just
They're random. Like,
all over
in
that.
downtown Boston, there's a place called the Boston Commons, and there's this little kind of, like, I don't know, I guess pond?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's called Swan. So you're like, okay, no big deal. Well, if you walk into the water, this big motherfucking super mutant pops out, named Swan, and charges you. Scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, moments like that are fed. Like the jump scare moments, right?
Yeah, you're like, oh shit, back up, shoot the shit out of
Well,
this
yeah,
guy.
like the Museum of Witchcraft. I wasn't expecting jump scares out of a Fallout game.
Exactly. And I mean, they also seem to have more variety even in the monsters that you do run into. Like, there's noticeable difference between the different Miralux. Especially, did I say that right?
Mirelurks?
Mirelurks?
I think that's what it is.
I don't know, but like the Queen.
Yeah.
is
Oh,
this
yeah.
huge, terrifying something out of Godzilla, and then you run into a king, and the king reminds me of your, regular fish people, but they fire these sonic attacks at you, and they're really, really fast. And then the different types of Mirelurks.
Yeah, there's like I fought this weird kind of spitter one.
Yeah, there's a soft shell, there's a glowing one, there's a razor claw, but they all have little features that are a little bit different.
Yeah, the enemy design in this game is much better than it was in previous.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and like there's actually variety of enemies. It's
Like-
not just like I fight super mutants all day.
And they're not in just specific spots. They're scattered throughout the entire game. Like,
And
you go
they're
down to...
unique.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
They're so unique.
Well, that's like, the companions you get in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Each companion brings... Because they brought the companion level a little bit further, so now you can actually have romance options in it.
Yeah.
And some of the companions you don't get through doing quests. Some of them you just have to find. For instance, Kate. Kate, unless you actually go and explore the Fight Club, you'll never get her.
Yeah.
And if you don't explore, which is one of my favorite things to do,
Yeah.
the vaults, you'll
Yes.
never get Curry. And each one brings something different to the game and have different likes and dislikes. Like if you get the Super Mutant Strong, he hates it every time you put your power armor on.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Like he fucking hates that. He's like, go ahead, put your fucking armor on. Because you're just a big old
He
pussy.
mocks you the whole time.
You're a big old puss bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick likes it every time you start hacking the computer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, and each character has some personality that you can drive with. I mean, depending on if you're male or female, and if you're trying to be a dick or you're trying to be a good person, kind of limits who you want to kind of try and get the romance, right? Like, I played my first playthrough. I was more good than anything.
I was a dick.
So I hung up.
From the get-go.
My next playthrough, I already have my character made, and she looks like something out of some horror show. And I went with Piper. Because I liked Piper's character. She's a journalist. She's trying to, uncover the truth. But her character and just the things that she says and the way she interacts. Like, you go into a bar, she says, wait a minute. And then she goes off and talks to patrons to find out more stuff about something she's trying to research on the
just
side.
Right. You actually feel like you're part of that character. So you're just like, how would she react to that question, right?
Yeah.
And then you go that way, which is really unique in a game situation.
And the way that I'm playing through is kind of the gun for hire thing.
Right.
I feel that Piper would be kind of a bit of a detriment to me because how good is she going to be in an all-out
War.
gunfight?
Yeah.
Which there is a
That's
character
amazing.
you can get who is a gun for hire.
Yep.
But you don't find him unless you're exploring one of the bars.
Right.
And he happens to be, he's in Good Neighbor, hanging out in one of the bars. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But you do get a ridiculous amount of
options.
Companions.
Yeah.
And then
Options.
later on in the game, and this is kind of, depending when you get there, depending on who you pick as your factions near the end of the game, because that's where your choices will finally start showing up. Because there is no real, I joined the Brotherhood, I'm with the Railroad, there's nothing bad about that. There's no hostilities there.
Oh, like how you couldn't join the NCR and the cons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Where this one, you can join every faction. That's something I'm not a big fan of, but later on in the story, it kind of brings it to fruition.
It makes sense.
But there are small things that I wish that, I understand they did it for the game purpose, but there is things I wish they did. Like, for instance, if you go visit the Brotherhood of Steel, and you have Valentine, who's a synth, they don't, you figure they cause some shit or try and kill him.
Or just, leave him outside, right?
Yeah,
you're not allowed in here because you're not a Brotherhood, right?
Yeah, well, with and just with how, how much the xenophobic the Brotherhood really is for anything that's not regular humans.
Right.
Because and that was something I like about the Brotherhood of Steel, is they actually tied them into Fallout 3, how they came from the Washington Wasteland to here, and how things have changed from when you met them there to now.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, the factions, it is kind of it kind of breaks up the storyline in a way that's weird when you join every faction, but you can also put those self-imposed guidelines on where you're like, well, NCR ran away in fighting, so I'm not going to join one if I join the other, just as a player-based restriction.
Yeah.
Hey, you could be just like, no, I don't want to join any of those.
Exactly.
But the factions I like. I like that the Minutemen they're more of the neutral faction. They don't really care who you end up with. They'll hang out with anyone.
Yeah, because they're fighting for the Commonwealth.
Yeah,
Right.
And then you have the Railroad, which are trying to rescue all the synths that they consider slaves and free them so they can live normal lives. And the synths that they're talking about, obviously, are the Phase 3 ones that look more like you and I.
Humanoid.
The humanoid style. And, the entire group is all synths.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of a really neat kind of story to have going on there. You also get, the other faction is the Institute, which you don't get till later on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go too much into it because I know a lot of people haven't gotten there.
Yeah.
But they play a crucial role in your decision making later on, and how it changes the Commonwealth altogether for you.
So, generally speaking, Bethesda killed it, right?
They did a good job.
The storyline was really good.
The main story is short, which, Bethesda games usually have a short main story, but they have a really nice twist in the story that I can appreciate a lot.
That's good.
Because I didn't see it coming at all, and when it came to me, I was actually surprised, and I appreciated what happened.
Well, that's good.
From there, the rest of the game is more about the exploring, the crafting, building up your settlements, which are all things that I'm happy to see.
The content.
The content
in
of
this
the
game
game.
is
go ahead.
next to none.
There is, at any given time, a billion places to go.
Yeah.
And that's what Bethesda does, right? They do the exploration really well.
Right.
And that character interaction and stuff. The problem with it is the combat looks kind of janky. It's too quick for what it is a lot of the time. The game just isn't designed to keep up with itself.
Right.
Well,
But
they fixed.
it's way better than 3
Yes.
New Vegas.
It's
Right.
absolutely better. You are not 100% reliant on VATS,
Which I am thankful for.
but you still have trouble fighting a lot of the time.
Yeah, and the game, even playing on normal, is not as easy as playing Fallout 3 on normal or New Vegas on normal. It's still really, it has a difficulty to it until you start really getting further and further in the game. Because, one big thing in that game is the crafting, the settlements that we were just talking about, is you don't sell things. Because everything you can break down to materials, and you need those materials to build
And it
your
doesn't
settlements.
break. That's the awesome part about it.
Yes.
Not breaking
I
your
love
weapons.
that.
The only thing you have to repair in the game is your power armor,
Right.
and you have to have fuel cells to run your power armor, which is a cool concept, but as me and Tyler talked about before, as far as Fallout lore goes, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, the power armor is supposed to be a self-contained thermonuclear unit that lasts for tens of thousands of years. It has not been that long in the Fallout world, presumably, because that is absurd.
Well,
but it's a gameplay thing.
From the beginning of the game to when you step out of the vault, it has been 200 years since the bombs dropped.
Yeah.
So we know that timeline.
Yeah.
So obviously these things should still be going. It's cool that you can go out and you can collect all these different types of power armor. And you've got the T-45, the T-60. You can even get radar armor that's been modified, which is cool to run into those guys. And there's a really cool fact with them. If you are prone to sneaking, you can actually sneak up behind them and take the fusion core out.
That's awesome.
And they have to get out of the armor, so it gives you an
Nice.
opportunity to kill it.
Yeah.
Plus, you get to customize the armor
That's
and
so cool.
and give it different things. Like you get a jetpack, you can get Tesla coils. My only complaint about that customization with the armor is there is nothing cosmetically that it really does to the armor.
Well, like, just watching Barkley's playthrough, like, he's got power armor with flames on it,
Yeah,
which
right.
presumably makes it go faster.
Well,
There's
there's three paint jobs
Yeah.
you get that change the color, but I
Yeah.
mean, like, if I put Tesla coils in, especially if I have the XO1, which kind of looks like the Enclave armor,
Yeah.
mixed with Terminator armor for 40k,
Yeah.
I would like to see maybe some Tesla coils coming on my pack.
Big Tesla coil on your shoulder.
Yeah,
But, like, what I was
cool.
going to say is the fusion cores needing, or the power armor needing fusion cores, makes power armor actually feel special.
yes.
Which
Yeah.
it didn't at all in Fallout 3
Right.
and New Vegas. It's just like, hey, it's a different looking armor
Yeah.
that looks like power armor. It doesn't feel like power armor.
And you don't want to, especially like if you haven't done enough exploring when you, especially because you get your first power armor like pretty much right off the bat.
Yeah.
If you haven't, if you don't explore and find more fusion cores, you don't want to take that power armor out.
Yeah.
Because you run out of power fusion cores, that armor's no good to you.
Yeah. Also, later on, like, watching Barkley's playthrough, because he's way further, you see, like, fusion cores aren't a big thing. Like, they're a harassment engine of you need fusion cores at all times. Like, you have enough. You just can't go all in on power armor at all times, though.
Unless you use console commands.
Yeah. Yeah, unless you cheat, because that's important.
and you can even skill into better conservation of power cores.
Exactly.
That's one thing that I'm not a big fan of is the streamlining of the stats.
Yeah, the changing of the perk system and the special and skills.
Yeah, it feels like it takes away from the RPG elements and just makes it okay. Well, you can pretty much have everything you want.
Yeah. It's simplified Skyrim, which Skyrim was already very simple.
I was just going to say,
Yeah.
Skyrim is very simple, and it seems like it's a very simplified version of that.
Yeah.
And, which, you know what, whatever. I'm still going to love it.
Yeah. I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm not gonna.
It's still
I'm not gonna.
It's still fun.
I'm not gonna pick it apart. I'm not gonna hate it
Nope.
because of that. I mean,
Nope.
it's still perfectly fine for what it does.
Yeah, it does. It does the job. Like I said, I'm a little disappointed, but it's a small thing. It's a small gripe.
How many hours have you guys spent customizing your guns?
Hours.
Hours. That is, like, how long did it take you guys to figure out the plasma pistol can turn into a rifle?
Not very long.
It took me forever. I'm like, why do I not have a plasma rifle? How is this not? And then I'm looking at the hilt. What? Oh my god! I just changed the hilt, and damn it! But,
Yeah.
The weapon customization in the game is awesome for guns.
Yeah.
I feel they kind of dropped the ball in the melee aspect.
Yeah.
There's only like 2, maybe 3 options for every melee weapon.
Yeah, I'll give you that, but I like.
Not-
I shoot.
Most people,
I don't care because it doesn't affect me.
most people run guns. Most people run guns. I like to run around with a melee weapon every now and then, especially when I'm in power armor, because I see a Deathclaw. Fuck it, I'm gonna take it on face to face.
Yeah.
Come at me, bro!
Yeah.
I'll just pick it off before it gets near me.
Yeah, I throw my boxing gloves on and I'm like, just rope a dope a Deathclaw.
But they have like there's so much customization to it that you can do to each weapon that brings a whole nother scope. And on top of that, then you have your settlements that you can build, and that I've spent
And defend.
and defend.
and
And
defend
defend.
more.
That is one thing. That's one thing that kind of sucks. Is you can build this great town, and you get, I think there's like 10 or 12 different settlements you can get in total.
I think so.
There might be more. I haven't finished exploring, so bear with me. But you can build them up however you want. You can build skyscrapers as high as 4 stories
I've only found 8.
before you hit max, and then. But you can set up all these defenses, your farms. But if you do not come back and help that settlement, no matter how high your defense is,
Take
you
it over.
still lose everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a harassment engine.
Yeah.
You're just like, go do this for me.
Well,
I just want to explore.
I like what they did. I wish that there was a little bit more you could do as far as building. Like, for instance, Sanctuary, like you have all these decrepit houses. I wish that you could at least patchwork them to make them, you got holes in the roof. Why can't I patchwork that properly?
It's just
Yeah,
It's
that's going out. Like they are limited, right? You have to realize that there is so much that they can do.
There's only so much graphics they can do.
Right. There's only so much graphics. It is limited, but I mean, it would have been something nice. Like, it doesn't even have to fit properly, but just make it so it's a possibility.
Yeah.
Because especially if you're going to put in something like building your own settlement.
Yeah, it's true.
So, that was one thing I really enjoyed. But I mean, like I said, you spend everything you get. Making money in that game is impossible half the time. At least until you start investing to get the caps to start buying stuff.
How many bottle caps?
I'm about $5,000.
Yeah.
72,000.
72,000?
Yeah.
He's
He's invested heavily in the bottle cap market.
I have traders and
He's got his RRSPs filled.
Awesome.
I've spent so much time working on my settlement that I have so many materials that I've been able to start selling a lot of the stuff.
Okay, bobbleheads.
I made a bobble cap or a bobble cap.
Bobble cap? I made a bubble cap.
I made a bobble cap press.
I have 3 bobbleheads and I have 6 magazines so far.
Oh, that's pretty good.
You suck at that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I haven't spent as much time looking for them.
I think I have 5 bobbleheads and probably about at least a dozen magazines.
I actually
You
haven't been to like most of the places where the bobbleheads are.
Yeah.
I've been to like the 3 places where you can find them right off the bat, but the rest of them have been like I haven't explored that area yet.
Right.
Yeah.
You get 2 within the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, well, I could have missed one.
No, they are hard to see. Like once again, they're well enough hidden, but they're not like just crazy. Like you have to move apart a bookshelf and pull the books off of it.
Right, it's not the
there.
Riddles and Batman kind of thing, right? Like it's
No, I have a bad habit. Like sometimes I just get in the mood that I'm just gonna fucking go in military style, go in and just wipe everything out, and then forget to actually check the nooks and crannies.
Not this guy.
I loot. They're in the nooks and crannies.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's just a problem I get, especially when I'm doing like Brotherhood of Steel missions.
Oh yeah.
I just get laser focused on wiping out the enemy in my Terminator armor with my laser Gatling gun. Everything's dead.
Alright, well, I guess we just generally think that Fallout's...
Yeah, let's do a quick wrap up. What do you think, Kelly?
Bethesda killed it. Like, it was amazing. I love it. I can't get enough of it. It's one of my tops right now.
Yeah.
For sure, 110%.
Yeah, once they fix like every single bug,
Every
which is
glitch
fine.
gonna
It's
be there, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I haven't found anything that's game breaking.
Yeah.
no.
like
Well,
the experience is very different.
There was one glitch that was game breaking. It was for a quest to go to a settlement, but they patched it. Thankfully.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
right off the bat, though, it was if you went to do that mission, it would literally just crash the game and you couldn't reload your save.
That's pretty harsh.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyways,
they fixed it.
it's fixed.
Yeah.
Eric?
Fallout is everything I was hoping it would be and more. There's, the small things that I can gripe about, but those are things that mods can fix.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see where they go with the expansions because there is so much they can do with it already, and there's so much to explore. I'm 100% happy with this game.
Awesome.
Okay.
Tyler?
It's good. I recommend playing it. It's not like it's the second coming of Jesus, but it is good. Like it's
me.
okay. Settle down, Kelly Taylor.
Kelly Taylor.
Yeah, full name at all times. But no, it's good. Like it's not disappointing. Like the only part I'm not super impressed with is the new perk system, but it's new and it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just something different.
Barkley?
Nothing will ever beat Fallout 1 or 2,
Yeah.
but this is
Close?
Fuck you,
a
Fallout
good
3.
heir to the throne.
Yeah.
This Fallout game deserves to be a Fallout game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
more
good
so than
statement.
New Vegas.
Yeah, well, and they captured the comedy of the Fallout universe, the parodies that New Vegas had, but the story is so much better.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us about what your favorite moments and what you like about the Fallout 4 universe in the game in the comments below.
Comments below.
And we'll see you guys next time. What are you doing?
I pointed up.
You're pointing up, pointing down.
Other videos might be up here.
Might be.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't have any.
Check out our other videos.
Yeah,
Right here.
eventually.
Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.